Practice precision, then birth the reality of it was only a vision. So you can obtain the strength and conquer the mission and avoid the collision from missing your turn. Some will live in alert, but not from the young religious. Let's there be a witness that they're bearing against you. Pharisaical issues, swallowed with camels and perfect and straight in the net, but they never unlock your mental. I highly commanded, I say it is dumb in our minds, so we only receive them in part. Lest we hear with our ears, see with our eyes, and begin to edit with our heart. And it started with all of his people in blasphemy. Now he didn't want us responding inadequately. Judgments appearing through our catastrophes. Not how we want it, but that's how it had to be. Down the ride for my nation. Down the ride for my father. Down the ride for my nation. Down the ride for my father. Down the ride for my nation. Down the ride for my father. Down the ride for my nation. Down the ride for my father. Watch me. Down the ride for my nation. Down the ride for my father.
Welcome to the Hebrew state of being. I am your humble servant and host for today's show. I am Kyle. In the building, I got my rib, my butter pecan, my beautiful wife, Miss Artist 28. My youngin' is gone by his father this weekend, so we are solo dolo, like we 21 in the house all alone. Yes, all praises to the Most High. I see y'all in the building, Kenneth in the building, Jeanette in the building. So, man, we have a great lesson for you guys today. We have so much going on in the world, right, that we can obviously see that prophecies are here. We can obviously see that there are plans for us going forward. Meaning the WHO, the World Health Organization, has, as of the last day or so, gotten an agreement assigned by all nations on what to do collectively when the pandemic comes. The next one, which they foresee, which many think is going to be connected to the bird flu. So you have that, that little old thing, right? We understand lockdowns. We understand the aspect of having control over the citizens. It's something that they want to make sure that the next time this happened, they would be able to do that. And this agreement is binding them to do that, all nations. Also, we have the continued war in Yasharallah, or Israel, with Gaza, which again, Palestinians, again, they have continued to break any type of agreements, peace agreements, stop fire. They're no longer dealing with United States at this moment, because United States has pivoted their position, and they are now trying to make good with the Arab nations that have made a decision, Saudi Arabia and such, that they will not do any business with Israel unless there is a guaranteed state of Palestine in Israel. As you all know, Israel is dead set against that, and I do mean dead set against that. You have in our beautiful Africa, or Afri, you have Torre General Captain Torre, that Ibrahim, that is successfully rebuilding his nation. The Sahel group is Mali as well as Niger, and together they are reclaiming and paying off all their debt and refining their own gold. Now, there is a possible, it has not been confirmed, coup in the Ivory Coast, which is right beneath Burkina Faso, which the same General Langley, as you have heard on news reports, accusing Burkina Faso of using their gold and not taking care of their citizens, when their citizens say the opposite and the world says the opposite. Well, this same General Langley in the United States wanted to put a drone facility, a manufacturing military grade drones in the Ivory Coast right beneath Burkina Faso, which is an absolute security threat, as they have kicked out all the other Western civilizations around them. So we are hopeful for a coup in the Ivory Coast. We are hopeful that they are able to join the Sahel group and continue to go against ECOWAS, which is the European backed African nations. Now, the Ukraine and Russia is continued, as Russia continues to help Burkina Faso and the Sahel to kick out the Western nations. So you must understand that the Ukraine and Russia war has now extended itself into Africa by being the same countries of Russia going against the Western Europeans and the United States. They are now doing that as well in Africa, as the Sahel is now fighting to control their own destiny. These are things that the Most High spoke of would be every tongue back to his nation. These are the prophecies that the Most High has given us. In the midst of all of that, we still have in this United States a race issue, which is amazing. We know the history, but there are some very hard-headed rednecks and people of that sort that are denial of history and still want to create a division in this nation, though this nation is under attack. I want everyone to understand that everything that I have just stated is man. That's the perspective of man right now, of racism, of our government being taken over, of us fighting internationally, of wars that have been prophesied. But our perspective on this Shabbat, and is the perspective that we should try and keep on every day, and that is the perspective of the Most High. How does the Most High see all of these things? First, as the title of the lesson says, blue, black, white, yellow, or brown is irrelevant to grace and mercy. So the Most High in the Old Testament, you will note there is no such reference to race, to color being a separation of man. In that time, it was tribe, it was nation. And in those tribes and in those nations, they happened to have all races. Yeah. So, as we have all understood intellectually, that the concept of race only started in the 1400s, right? Maybe a little bit earlier, 1300s, more a religious persecution of nations. But as we moved into the 1400s, we become into this racial aspect with slavery and enslaving people of color, melanation. But from the Most High's perspective, he could care less about all of those things. The Most High does not have the same concern, the same feeling about race as any of you do. The Most High does not care when he is doling out grace and mercy. He does not care your color whatsoever, your race whatsoever. It is his law in which he judges. It is his law in which he gives grace and mercy. Whether you are yellow, black, brown, green, purple, blue, or alien, fallen angel, the Most High's criteria has been stated since the beginning of time. It is stamped just like the law of nature is stamped, just like the seasons are stamped. If we are coming, it is going to be your character, be your race, and not your race. It's going to be your race to the Most High in his law and not the race of your color. We're going to blow our shofar so we can get into the Most High scriptures, so we can be clear on what we are discussing this evening through his perspective. As you see the thumbnail, it says Aboriginal, Negro, Jew, not Jewish, not black, not white, nation. So Aboriginal is a people, Negro is a nation, Jew is a nation. Jew and Negro are synonymous before the 1500s, especially in the Western Europe of France, Portugal, Spain, Iberian Peninsula, before we were put into slavery. So when I said there were religious wars before there were the racist wars, we were known as the Jews in the first one when they came against us. Then we became known as the Negroes when it came to the race war. You must understand that when it was the time of the holy wars, we were known as a nation of the Jews, synonymous with being melanated. This holy war against us, when it turned into the transatlantic slave trade, into the Reconquista, we became the Negro. Understanding that though you have these terminologies to try and denote a people, and that's how we can follow ourselves through history, even though they say our beginnings is the 1500s with Christopher Columbus in 1492 and slavery, that's the beginning of our people. Before that, we were booty scratchers. So not true. I see Brother Yawan and Brother Edan has made it in. Facebook will not let me send out invitations today, so we're in the building. So our title of our lesson is Blue, Black, White, Yellow, Brown is irrelevant to the grace and mercy. To grace and mercy. So we're going to blow the shofar so we can get into our scripture. As we blow the shofar, we stand to the east, and as we stand to the east, we pray. And what are we praying? We are praying that the words that we have put together today for you, the scripture, is an answer to the prayers that you've been having all week. Regardless of what we put together, this is the answer to what your spirit has been questioning. And when you allow the words of the Most High, his scripture, to answer your questions, we pray that the Most High levels you up immediately when it resonates with you, whether that be today, whether it be next week, whether it be next year. We pray it be right now. So let's stand to these and pray. There's a shofar blast. Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom. Oh, praise unto the Most High. Let's get it, man. So, our first scripture for today is Genesis chapter 1, verse 27. Genesis chapter 1, verse 27. And it reads, "And the Most High created man in his image, and in the image of the Most High he created him, male and female. He created them." So before we get to 1400s, before we get to civilizations and mankind being all upon the earth, and before we get to a flood, all man was made by the Most High. No matter if he was light-skinned, no matter if he was yellow, no matter if he was purple. We understand that Adam means of earth, brown. So it's clear that the earth is made of a brown dirt or a brown clay. So Adam being fashioned out of that, it is not hard to assume or to make the next step that he would have resembled color of the ground that he was fashioned out of. So in the beginning of all things, the first man and woman was of the Most High. So anything that happens after that is of the Most High. Whether man mates with a light skin, or man mates with a Neanderthal, or man mates with a Denisovian, man mates with whatever. If it's human, it's of the Most High. Let's go to Leviticus chapter 19. Leviticus chapter 19, verse 34. And it reads, "The stranger who resides with you shall be to you as one of your citizens." So the Most High has already accounted us to be a nation. This is Leviticus when he's establishing the Negro Jew nation. I'm going to say it again. This is Leviticus, the 5 books of Moses, the Torah, where we have just read that the Most High has fashioned Adam out of the dirt, out of the clay. The Most High says here in Leviticus, way after that, so well, now he has come unto us, way after Abraham, he is now established through Moshe his law with his nation of his people that has been his people since Adam and Eve. He singled out Abraham and the descendants of Abraham, even though Abraham was from the descendants of Babylon, the Chaldeans, who was named in our lineage Oxford. So Abraham left Babylon which is modern day Iraq, and then went to Egypt, eventually to the place where he would make a stone, and that we would eventually, his descendants will come back to Jerusalem and claim it. At that time, it'd still be Northeast Africa. They called it the Middle East now. But so in this law, he's saying, you as my people that I have singled out of all of the men of the world and all the women of the world, because you are of the bloodline of Shem. He says, anyone else that comes into your nation is your citizen. You shall love him as yourself, for you were strangers in the land of Egypt. I, the Most High, I am, Ahia, your Shaddai. So again, we are understanding the Most High's perspective of there's no such thing as race, but there's a singled out people that comes from a bloodline. Not that there aren't other bloodline of that cousins and whatnot to them that exist. The Babylonians was Abraham's cousins. But yet we were a nation. He built a nation inside of a nation, took him out of that, became a new nation. Those people have been spread across the four corners of the earth because of its horrible actions after the law was put in place. We, being the descendants of those, are still a nation. Though we be loose, we still be a nation. Though we are next to neighbors that are not part of our nation, we are still supposed to treat them as citizens of our nation. This is how it's supposed to be told unto us. This is without color. This is a neighbor of any color, creed, or kind. That's not what you see in America. That's not what you see through Christianity. That's not what you see through Islam. But this is what is written as the pure, perfect law, pure, perfect way to interact. Let's go to Deuteronomy chapter 10. Chapter 10, verse 17. For the Most High, your Shaddai, is Shaddai supreme, and the Lord supreme, which means that there are no other gods above Shaddai. Again, Deuteronomy chapter 10, verse 17. For the Most High is your Shaddai, is God supreme, and Lord supreme, the great, the mighty, and the awesome Shaddai, who shows no favor and takes no bribe, but upholds the cause of the fatherless and the widow, and befriends the stranger, providing him with food. So again, the concept of race has nothing to do with the Most High, his grace, and his mercy. And those that would make it or try to believe it to be so is in contradiction unto the Most High. Not only are they a contradiction, not only are they an error, but they are willfully sinful. When we understand that it's the Most High's prophecies, we can align history up to a particular people, and the prophecies go right along with them. Do you believe man when he has lied to you about everything? Do you still believe what man tells you when the Most High has written it and you can see it? Yes, man has a ridiculous marketing campaign Before it was a marketing campaign, they used the sword. Before that, and with the sword, they used famine. They used all of these things for you to believe the things that you believe in, this particular construct that they give to you as your God and your supernaturalism. When you can see that our Creator has no need, has no use of race, and has no use of value in it when it comes to him giving out grace and mercy and covering his children. And start with Adam and Eve. No matter what man has made it with, it's still all children of the Most High. And though the Most High has carved out a people to represent his law, to uphold and to be a vessel back unto him, does not mean that they are the only ones to be saved, that they're only ones to get grace and mercy. Oh, no. The Most High never said that. That is also the lie of your religions that tells you that you have to be this in order to make it to heaven, or you have to be that in order to make it. You have to be obedient unto your Creator to make it. He has given a law. Let's go to Malachi chapter 2. Malachi chapter 2, verse 10. Have we not all one? Have we all not one? Did not one Shaddai, one God? Why do we break faith with one another? So we want to join the lie that's been given to us and say, oh, you're European, you're Caribbean, you're South American, you're North American. That's the boundaries that they have set. That's the boundaries that they have used to separate us. We are all from one Father. And we break faith and profane the covenant of our ancestors by the way we act with each other, letting them say, this black man don't like that black man because that black man is from New Orleans and this black man is from South Africa. This dude is. For me, there is the followers of the Most High, and then there are the others. It is that. Your culture, you can call it that. The way you was raised, you can call it that. You can call it whatever you choose, but until you understand the law of the Most High is perfect. And it has nothing to do with giving praise to any man. It's not giving praise to any nation. It is only to give praise unto the Most High and to love mankind, his entire creation. So if they can't do that, if that's not a part of their mode, then they're the other. It's not 25 teams. This ain't a league when it comes to the Most High. It's us and them when it comes to the Most High. It is good versus evil. There is no other. You say, well, I don't believe in your Creator. What you don't believe in? Can you say, I see Prissy Chrissy in the building. What about my Creator that you are now delineating yourself from being a child of the Most High as I am, as the one that created all things? Okay, what about my Creator you think is wrong? Oh, you know what they do? They bring up something a man did in the name of what they say is the Most High's word. That's all they have is the ill actions of man. And even the ill actions of man that's saying they're trying to act out the words of the Most High. The Ten Commandments is who the Most High is. It's his law. It is a reflection of him, man in his image. If you are not following those, then you are not in his image. Malachi chapter 2, verse 10. Have we not all one Father? Did not one Creator create us? We do not break faith with one another, profaning the covenant of our ancestors. And I'll go next because so many of you that have a limited concept of history believe that all the atrocities of the world was done by the absent of melanated people, Caucasians. That's not true. When you actually go into history, you find, and as the Most High will say here in history, that we profaned the Most High way before a Caucasian got into any kind of power. Some may even say, as a stretch, if not, may not be a stretch, that the Caucasian learned from our abhorrent, evil ways and said, I'll do one better. Malachi chapter 2, verse 11. Judah has broken faith. Abhorrent things have been done in Yasharallah and in Jerusalem. For Yehudah has profaned what is holy of the Most High, what he desires. He espoused daughters of alien gods. Alien gods, Judah, women of other kinds. I see Scott's in the building, all praises. We did abhorrent things unto the Most High way before you want to allow race to be a thing, way before you want to decide that all white people are horrible, way before you want to decide that all African Hamites or whatever against us, way before you want to decide that the Mexicans is against us, way before you want to decide on who's against who. We want to take a deeper look in history to where you find you. When you find you, you're going to find what you did wrong. Finding you don't start with this transatlantic slave trade. Finding you does not start with the history of only 400 years of what they call America or the United States. Your history weighs way thousands of years before this iniquity of the United States was started. So when you go back and find you, you'll find that your reason for being in jail, your reason for a transatlantic slave trade is because of the abhorrent things you did against the Most High with other people, other nations that believe in other gods, as you do now in this nation that believes in another God. But as it said, the Most High is supreme over all. And even the God of this nation said he can't do what he does. And even though this nation like to twist and says that he is, it's a trinity, that he's all those things in one, alive. That's Jew Gentile, that's Caribbean, that's African, North American, G, that's whatever. We are going into tumultuous times with WHO. I see my cousins made in the building. The WHO has now made an agreement with 123 nations that the next pandemic, which they think is going to be the bird flu, they can shut down the entire world by this agreement. No negotiation, just in time. I'm telling you that the Most High does not care about race. It is your character. It is your race unto him that he cares about. Does not care about your racial profile. As these things are going to happen, you're going to hear idiot people scream that. You're going to hear dumb people saying it's all about race and look what they're doing to our race. The Most High is doing it to a class of people, to people that have not come back unto him, to people that he are trying to change and make them come back. He's giving you a nation that is being destroyed and that is oppressing you so that you come back unto him, because you are so lost in the sauce of this nation that you think everything is okay, that you think following another God is okay. So he's going to break you down. You're going to be sick. You're going to be hungry. You're going to be attacked. You're going to have all these things until you understand that coming back to his law is all that matters. You're going to have the stupid people screaming, and these stupid people are going to die and continue to be dying themselves. That's the part that you don't ever realize, that these same people that screaming and stuff, they dying too. They're getting taken out as well. But you are so indoctrinated with the stereotype of race, and it's all being attacked on me. One day you might realize the Most High is attacking all. Why do you think Bill Gates want to get rid of the sun? Because the sun is killing those without melanation. The same ones that you think got it good and they winning. Do you realize that nature is killing them? Do you realize that the birth rate, they are being outnumbered in ridiculous proportion of numbers? That you guys still believe that you're still only 13 or 14% of this nation after 400 years of being a higher birth rate than them. Even though you're being killed, you're still out birth rating them. But you believe what they tell you. You believe what they scream, that it's all about race. And now realizing that the Most High is attacking all. Let's go to Genesis 12. They said they got 5,000 dying in Ukraine daily. We ain't over that. But there's some iniquity because Ukraine got their patron saint, their God. Russia, they got their patron saint, they got their God. And they're killing each other. You don't focus on what they're telling you about race. They all dying. Every man, color, creed, race is dying and getting it in some form of fashion right now. Genesis chapter 12, verse 1 through 3. The Most High said to Abraham, go forth from your native land. Native. Where was that land? Iraq. The Shemitic line is an Asiatic line. He says, your native land, and from your father's house to the land that I will show you. I will make of you a great nation, and I will baraka you, bless you. I will make your name great, and you shall be a blessing, a baraka. We know that all of these religions are claiming Abraham because they call themselves the Abrahamic faiths. Now, how ironic it is for one man to have three different faiths. I don't think that's confusing at all. I never thought about that like that. You never thought about it like that? Abraham, the one man that's believed in something that everybody's supposed to be following, but yet there's three major factions that break from it. Wow. And all three negate the original one that he was under. Y'all don't think that's anything odd about that? But this shows that the Most High's word and prophecy is true. Abraham is great among the nations. His name is supposedly a blessing. I will bless those, it says, I will make your name great, and you shall be a baraka, a blessing. I will bless those who baraka you, who bless you, and curse him that curses you. And all the families of the earth, shall baraka themselves by you. There's no color in this. And the Most High is ready to dove out blessings to anyone, any color, creed, Neanderthal, this Soviet, Homo erectus, anything you want that give praise or baraka, give blessings, are following him unto the children that he has singled out, not to be better than anyone else, because obviously we're not, because we went against him and we're in slavery. So the whole concept of us being better than someone else is really one of the dumbest arguments in the world, for the reason why people say that they cannot come unto this and can't believe in the chosen people. That means you really know nothing about the history of these so-called chosen people. In the present status, you're probably thinking that the chosen people are the ones that are, committing jewelry across the world, that believe in their Zion policies, and would not be anything of the Most High. That'd be a ruffian in his star that they use. Let's go to Isaiah chapter 42. Remember, when you hold your character, not your race, when you hold your character and not your race, and people decide to do for you because you hold in this character of the Most High, that you are upright, righteous person, and they decide, man, this is a righteous brother, this is a righteous sister. I see they're going through some things, I'm going to do for them. The Most High is allowing you to be a blessing to someone else, because when that person blesses you, the Most High says he's going to baraka that person. See, that's the system that we should have in our nation. That's the true order that we are supposed to be going by. That's how we're supposed to ahava, love each other. It means dedication. Isaiah 42. Verses 1 through 7. This is my servant. Oh, they love to use this for their God, for their demigod. This is my servant whom I uphold, my chosen one in whom I delight. I have put my spirit upon him. He shall teach the true way to the nations. He shall not cry out or shout out loud or make his voice heard in the streets. It's not what they have in the New Testament, but they like to say that that's what is being done here, right? I'm going to read Isaiah, because Isaiah is a complete scroll, right? They put in chapters, right? I'm going to go up to Isaiah 41, and we're going to start at verse 27. It ends at 29. It says, the things once predicted to Zion, behold, here they are. These are the things that was once predicted to Zion. And again, I send a herald to Jerusalem. But I look, and there is not a man, not one of them can predict or can respond when I question him. See, they are all nothingness. Their works are nullity. Their status are not in nil. The Most High says that there are men out there screaming my name. But when I talk to them personally, when I check them personally, when I challenge them personally, when I speak to them in their mind to go and do, they answer not. He says, so their works are nothingness and works of nullity. So then he goes into 42 and says, this is my servant whom I uphold, my chosen one in whom I delight. I have put my spirit upon him. He shall teach the true way to the nations. He shall not cry out and shout out loud or make his voice heard in the streets. He shall not break even a bruised reed or snuff out even a dim wick. So he won't blow out a dim wick. He won't break a thin reed. He shall bring forth the true way. He shall not grow dim or be bruised till he has established the true way on earth. And the coastlands shall await his teaching. Thus says the Most High. Verse 5. Who created the heavens and stretched them out? Who spread out the earth and what it brings forth? Who gave breath to the people upon it and life to those who walk thereon? I, the Most High, in my grace have summoned you, and I have grasped you by the hand. I created you and appointed you a covenant people, a light of nations. So if you only read the first part, it sounds like he is saying one person. It says, my servant, who I am the light, and I have great days, and he shall teach the true way. But then as it goes, you understand that it says that the teachings of this person would be desired across the coastlands. Isaiah was desired across the coastlands. Isaiah's words is the only scroll that they have fully intact, that dates before any other scrolls that they have. Well, according to those people, they do have the codexes in the Vatican that no one can see and no one knows what's in those, right? But then as he comes in 5, it says, thus says the Most High, who created the heavens and stretched out the earth, who spread out the earth and what brings forth, who gave breath to the people upon, and life to those who walk therein. I, the Most High, in my grace have summoned you. So that means even if there is a servant that has put forth the teachings, there is still a requirement of you and how you live and how you deal with everybody and how you accept the things that you see. You have the responsibility. He says that I created you and appointed you a covenant people. That's what makes us chosen, because we keep the covenant. And our neighbors that sojourn with us, that become our citizens, that follow the law as we do, have the same grace and mercy, but they're not put in the same place in the Shemayim. They have an outside court, and as his people that have done the work, or is an inner court. This is not hard, but they need to break the faiths up into 3 to speak about one man and his belief in one creator. And they gave you other men to follow. I hope y'all are seeing and understanding what's being put forth, because see, this Isaiah 42, 1-7, that's what Matthew uses in Matthew 12, verse 15 to 21, to justify their demigod, to make him a god. It said that he would not even blow out a candlestick, and Jesus turned over the tables in the temple. I want you to understand how they tried to make this sound like someone else. The Most High says, oh, that's distractions, just like racism. Trying to figure out if the man has come, the man hasn't come. Is the man part of the Most High? Is the man not part of the Most High? Is he a Trinity? Is he not a Trinity? Well, the Most High said, I gave you a law to focus on. I gave you a way of treating your fellow man. And in fact, even the person that you're contemplating on said that I changed nothing. I come here to fulfill. I changed not even a tittle of the law. So y'all focusing on race, y'all focusing on demigods, y'all focusing on debates over man. Is he this? Is he that? And you're missing the fact that the Most High is prophecies are happening. People are dying. They are becoming confederate to try and oppress Yehuda with these Abrahamic laws. They're going to come with the Noahide laws. Noahide laws. We've done shows on the Noahide law, and this put forth by these synagogues. So you have the WHO with this national lockdown. Then you have the Noahide laws that if you don't believe in the Most High, you're going to die. Now, these Christians, to make it all twisted, say that the Noahide is against them because they believe in Jesus. And that's a no-no in the Noahide laws. They only want to believe in the Most High. So it's amazing how they have gotten these Noahide laws to be accepted by these nations that believe in other gods. Again, to me, I think that's the work of the Most High, where Most High is trick bagging them, because the Most High said so many times that the deception that this world puts forth is going to be its own snare. It's going to be its own trap, such as the racism, such as the gods that they try to purport. Let's go to Psalms 119, verse 32. And it reads, "Turn to me and be gracious to me, as is your rule with those who love your name." His name is Shaddai, or Ahai, as we've read in Genesis 17 many a times for you guys. The Most High told Abraham his name was Shaddai. Moses got "I am that I am." When he told Abraham, he says, "I am Shaddai." Then he told Moses, "I am." Y'all can't get the Shaddai together. Y'all can't remember that. Just go with the "I am." But it's still the same title that in which he gave Abraham that he has now went down and given to Moses. So it says here in the Psalms 119, verse 32, "Turn to me and be gracious to me." Not to man, not to demigods, not to apparitions, not to none of that, not to prophets, not to fallen angels, but unto your creator. That's your character. Let's go to Habakkuk, chapter 2. Habakkuk, chapter 2. I'm going to read a little bit of this Habakkuk. This is my big part of the lesson for us to understand. Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 2 says, "The Most High answered me and said, write the prophecy down on tablets, so that it can be read. For there is yet a prophecy for a witness for a time that will come." Now, we just read in Isaiah 42 when it talks about the Most High saying there is going to be a servant. Now, when you go to Isaiah 43, the Most High, in 44, the Most High talks about how he strikes that same servant because we have been led astray, but that's neither here nor there. It says, "For there is yet a prophecy for a set term, a truthful witness for a time that will come. Even if it tarries, wait for it still. For it will surely come without delay. Lo, his spirit within him is puffed up, not upright. But the righteous man is rewarded with life for his fidelity," for him not cheating, for not being a whore with other gods, for his fidelity. "How much less then shall the defiant go unpunished?" Oh, we all see the defiant around, right? I just outlined how all these nations are defiant of the law. It says, "Defiant and go unpunished. The treacherous, arrogant man who has made his maw as wide as Shaul, his life is more as wide as Shaul is hell. Might be his mouth. Who is as insatiable as death, who has harvested all the nations. Death has harvested all the nations and gathered in all the peoples. Surely all these shall pronounce a satire against him, a pointed epigram concerning him. So a poem, and this is the poem. They shall say, ah, you who pile up what is not yours, how much longer? This United States, these nations from all over have made it off of slavery, indentured servitude, all of these European nations. So it says, how much longer you think this is going to last for you? And make ever heavier your load of indebtedness. Right suddenly will your creditor arise. This is the fall of the daughter of Babylon. It says that all of his lovers in one day will turn against him. And those who remind you will awake, and you will be despoiled by them. Because you plundered many nations, all surviving people shall plunder you for crimes against men and wrongs against lands, against cities and all their inhabitants. I want you to understand, when you in this nation and they're screaming all this racism, when they're in this nation and you're seeing all these evil people, trust me, they're not just white. Trust me, the evil goes deep. Trust me when I tell you that one of the largest slave owners was black or melanated here in the South. There is evil, but you let race make you think that that's what a line is. The line is not in race. The line is in righteousness. The crimes against men and the wrong against lands, against cities and their inhabitants. Ah, you who have acquired gains to the detriment of your own house, who have destroyed many peoples in order to set your nest on high, to escape disaster. You have plotted shame for your own house, the house of the United States. Many of these houses, and guilt for yourself, the house of Bourbon, for the house of York, the house of so many. For a stone shall cry out from the wall, and a rafter shall answer it from the woodwork. Ah, you have built a town with crime and established a city with infamy, so that peoples have had to toil for their fire, and nations too weary themselves for naught. Behold, it is from the Most High of the army, the host, for the earth shall be filled with awe for the glory of the Most High, as water covers the sea. Now we know that the sea is greater than landmass here, and they're saying that the glory of the Most High is more vast than the sea. Ah, you who make others drink to intoxication, as you pour out your wrath in order to gaze upon a nakedness, you shall be sated with shame rather than glory. Drink in your turn and stagger. The cup of the right hand of the Most High shall come around you, and disgrace to your glory. For the lawlessness against Lebanon shall cover you. The destruction of beasts shall overwhelm you. The crimes against men and wrongs against lands, against cities and all their inhabitants. Oh, yes. And it says, what has the carved images availed? So of this nation, what has the carved images that they worship availed them? Nothing but destruction. Nothing but destruction at hand, and being done by the Most High in mercy, as if you're under his law. Let's go to Jeremiah 5. I must confess to y'all that I had actually ended my lesson at Habakkuk, but the Most High just kept giving me this, and this is where we at with it. So Jeremiah 5 is part 2. It says, roam the streets of Jerusalem, search its squares, look about and take note. You will not find a man. You will not find a man. There is none who acts justly, who should pardon her, even when they say, as the Most High lives. They are sure to be swearing falsely. Oh, the Most High, your eyes look for integrity. You have struck them, but they sensed no pain. Ooh. They're struck, and this nation acts as though it doesn't feel the pain. It's not going through anything. That the problem is that they just need to get control of the Negro. It's always been their cry. But internationally, it's a total different vibe. It's a total different understanding. This Jeremiah 5 is expressing that there is nothing just in our land, especially if you as a just person is looking at race. If you're looking at another human being, before they say anything, before they tell you who they are, you say, I don't like this, so you got to watch him. You don't let a man present who he is, and you judge him off of his facade. You're going against the Most High. And you may be blocking your window that's being opened for you. I'm not telling you not to guard yourself. The Most High tells you in Ecclesiasticus, Sirach chapter 8, that you are to vet every man. Doesn't matter his color or creed, her color or creed, you're supposed to test them. And then the Most High says, don't be quick to pat them on the back. You pat them on the back when they are giving praise unto the Most High, not because they can fix a car well, not because they know how to walk or they got the best clothing or they got smooth talk, but the ones that know the Most High, those are the ones that you are to give pats on the back to. Let's go to Jeremiah 12. Verse 5. Jeremiah 12, verse 5. If you race with the foot runners and they exhaust you, how then can you compete with horses? If you are secure only in a tranquil land, how will you fare in the jungle of the Jordan? And I bring this up if you can't shake racism, you can't beat the concept of dealing with your fellow man and woman outside of the lines of racism, how can you deal with man on the spiritual level with the Most High? How? How can you? You can't. Your spirit, your mind, your soul is not up there. No matter how much you say you are, it's still right here, stuck in this place. Verse 22, almost out of here. Proverbs 22, verse 2. And it reads, rich man and poor man meet. The Most High made them both. Rich man, poor man meet. The Most High made them both. You need to just meditate on that. I see Alana's in the building. Psalm 60. Yeah, Facebook wouldn't let me do my invites today, Alana and Edan and Mike, so it was just blank on the screen. So thank y'all for tuning in. And so here we go. Psalm 60, verse 12. But you have rejected us, O Most High. Shaddai, you do not march with our armies. Grant us your aid against the foe, for the help of man is worthless. With the Most High, we shall triumph. He will trample our foes. Our people have gotten to the point they were fighting so much they understood it didn't matter how many they had in the army or what kind of weapons they had. They only won when they were following the Most High and when the Most High was on their side. We are going to war mentally, physically, and spiritually, psychologically, however you want to place it. We are in war right now. You're not going to be victorious no matter who you are, what you are, no matter how much you've amassed or have not amassed, if you are not understanding the Most High's law and how he works. He created both the rich and the poor, every shade of man that is known to man. Our last scripture for today, Jeremiah 13, verse 23. Jeremiah 13, verse 23. Can the Cushite change his skin, or the leopard his spots? Just as much can you do good, who are predicted in doing evil. It says just as much can you do good. So it's saying that even though these people can't change their skin color, you can choose not to be evil. You can choose to do good by man, by your family, by your estranged cousins, by your boss. Understanding that when evil people do things to you, they will fall. And when good people do good by you, they will get good. They will get rockers. And they'll recognize that and they'll continue to treat you in a certain manner. You make the decision in the midst of the loud talk and the rhetoric. Can you be a righteous person with all colors and creeds? If they I need you to in this hour. Jeremiah chapter 13, verse 23. It says, can a Cushite change his skin, or a leopard his spots? Just as much can you do good. Where say who are predicted in doing evil. So even though they're going to say that you're going to do evil, even though they predict you of evil, you don't have to. So I'll go to 24. It says, so I will scatter you like straw that flies before the desert wind. This shall be your lot, your measured portion from me, declares the Most High. And it says, because you forgot me and trusted in falsehood, I in turn will lift your skirts over your face, and your shame shall be seen. I behold your adulterer. That means following other gods, that you are cheating on the Most High as an adulteress. Your lustful name, your unbridled depravity, your vile acts on the hills of the courtsides. Woe to you, O Jerusalem! Who will not be clean? How much longer shall it be? So I pray that in your household, that you are being cleansed, that you are no longer letting that be, that you are not letting religions, race, or anything distract you or deter you from understanding the law of the Most High is your grace and mercy. It is your victory. Your character is the way you follow the law. All praise unto the Most High. Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom. I pray that your families are being covered by the Most High. I pray that you have the strength through the Ruach HaKodesh to be the leader in your household, or give you the strength and the power to be humble if you're not leading, to show the leader the way of the Most High. All praises unto you. The Most High loves you, and he's calling you. Just answer, baby. All praise unto the Most High. We will talk to you guys on Monday for what is a Hebrew. Mishnah.